Okay, so tonight we have to get through the minor arcana, and that's going to be a trick. There are 56 cards, and we have
56?
Yeah, we have 95 minutes to do it. And I spent 90 minutes before just writing down ideas on specific ones. Things got a little too hot last time when I did a reading for individuals publicly. Okay, I think when you're doing an individual reading, and I'm going to start my public readings by doing a tarot reading on the President of the United States. I'm going to do that in another week or two. I'm not going to do it in group.
Oh, man.
But it's going to be on the channel. I'm going to ask everybody to do a reading, and it can be any reading that's in these 3 pages of readings. I'm going to finish by doing a Celtic Cross for 2018. The first thing that I want to mention is that I found a book on Audible and on Amazon called Tarot for Beginners. And since I like Audible things, I listened to this Audible thing, and what I found was that she wants to call the wand suit, as the thinking suit, and the sword suit as the thinking action suit. Okay, I'm sorry. She wants to call the wands the intuitive suit, and the swords the thinking suit. Okay, well, that's the Wiccan way of doing it. Okay, that's not the way I taught it last week, and you can do it either way. But I did research it because someone online, one of our many subscribers online, rightfully asked. He said, I came up with this other way of thinking about it, where the wands are intuitive and the swords are thinking, and he says, that's opposite from you, what about it? So I explained my rationale for doing it, and so there's no right answer. That answer is the Wiccan answer. Okay, so if you want to have a reading from a good witch, you can do it that way. How do you do it? Do you connect? Do you connect?
Swords are thinking, and it's fire and creativity and intuition as well. Wands.
Is wands. And so you think of that as intuition.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do it the Wiccan way. I have my reasons for not wanting to do it that way, and which I've reversed them. And in fairness, this woman on the audio thing acknowledges that you can do it the other way, and it makes more sense to me to have the wands, which, this is not a card about thinking. This is a card about action, right? and I think of the wands as all the wands are kindling. I mean, they're basically kindling. That's the way I think of it. And so I think of them as fire, not air. And I think of thinking as air. So if these are fire, then the swords are cutting through and finding, the intuitive answer coming. Pardon?
I see the mage holding the wand, and it's
right.
That's not kindling to me.
Okay. So you say that's not kindling.
I'm probably a Wiccan.
Okay. So anyway, it's okay to do it either as a Wiccan or as a skippin'.
Starting a movement, folks.
But if you come to me for reading, you may find me doing it opposite from the good witches. All right. So let's talk about what we've been talking about is the connection to the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, and we've been talking about which suits relate to which of the functions that Dr. Jung spoke about. And so sensing is earth. I say swords are intuition, wands are thinking, and cups are feeling, in that order. And as I was trained, you start with sensing, intuition, thinking, feeling. You want to make that Z in order to understand your project or your mission or whatever it is. Okay, so we're going to talk about these. The Ace of Wands. If you have your cards with you, you can follow along. The Ace of Wands. And so what comes to mind when you see this? So what I'm trying to do in psychology, there are a number of ways of referring to these things. In Neurolinguistic Programming, we talk about anchors. So if a keyword comes up like boat, everybody thinks of a boat, but I don't know if you're thinking of a 450-foot yacht or a rowboat, right? But everybody's got an anchor for the word boat or yacht. Okay, so in Neurolinguistic Programming, it's boat, or it's anchors, and then it's, sometimes it's called trigger words. Probably you run into trigger words in mental health where people are quote unquote triggered by a certain word. Well, that's basically the same thing as an anchor word. And so my point in terms of this training for the tarot is that I'm trying to give triggers that will help people remember when they look at a card what it might have to do with. Okay, you can go out and buy any book or set of books about the tarot and have all kinds of ideas, but if you watch this video, you may get some other ideas from our group. So
You want me to say?
yeah,
What
say
this
something.
is. This is one of my favorite cards. That is, it's a wand, so it's beginning energy. It's an initializing kind of a thing.
Okay, it's beginning
And
energy.
It's beginning energy. So it's very powerful. It's a start, and it's loaded. And
By
being
loaded, what do
open-
you mean it's loaded?
Well, it's a big, explosive starting energy.
Big explosive starting
Yeah.
energy.
And this is all about intuition. It's about opening yourself up to ideas that are coming through you. You're a channel, and you kind of get yourself still and quiet and let go of thinking and all kinds of other things and allow these things in stillness to come to you. They're being handed to you, and if you're not aware, then you're going to miss out.
So you need to be quiet and aware
Yeah,
to
very
get the
still.
energy.
And they're all around. They're coming.
And
at you
and
different
all the
forms.
cards are about energies, right? They're about
Yeah.
psychic energy.
Can you turn this way?
So it's a start.
Okay, it's a
Sometimes
start.
they'll get
So what's the cloud in there?
3
Yeah,
aces.
yeah.
That's like a divine inspiration. It comes
Okay.
from source,
All right,
where
so
everything comes from.
So the cloud is a divine inspiration. Bill, what did you
I
think?
was thinking the cloud's like a storm, and it's when you're in sort of this conflict or something, there's some sort of stress that forces you in, like sort of pushes you into an intuitive frame of mind because you can't control it. You just sort of pushed out. And things.
So you're pushed out of a intuitive frame of mind
You're pushed out
into a fire.
You're pushed out of your comfort zone, and you find an intuition that respond. You know, the intuition is sort of the answer that comes spontaneously. You know, because if you're just problem solving, that doesn't make sense. Because when you're
but what I would say is that when you're pushed out of an intuition, then you're pushed.
I didn't say that. I didn't say
That's
that.
what you said, though.
I didn't say you're pushed out of an intuition. I said when you're pushed out of your sense of comfort, out of your ability to think and feel, and come up to a conclusion. When you're no longer a designer and you have to become an artist, and you have to have a stroke of. You've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
You told me I've said things I didn't say.
Everybody push back.
Yeah.
Check the tape.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
If I said that, I mean, maybe I better take off.
Okay, because I look at it from
I don't know
an
how you can be pushed out of an intuition anyway, except to
no,
start
no.
thinking.
But what I'm saying is that the way I would interpret it is based on what you said, which that's a very good insight about the cloud being in the air realm, right? Which is what you're saying.
No. It's
Well,
not.
you're saying it's an intuitive realm.
I just said it was a struggle. It was some sort of tension, and there's some kind of tension you can't resolve, and the hand goes out, and you've got an intuition, and that resolves it.
Okay, but the way I would think of it is the hand goes out, and that's the intuition taking action. Okay, it's the first
Intuition
action.
can't take action.
Right. So therefore, it becomes a thinking function.
No, it's a whisper. It's a knowing and a whisper.
Okay. All
Why
right.
are the leaves coming off?
I don't know, John. Why are the
Go
leaves
ahead,
coming
you
off?
I have my idea. John.
Is it a shock and the leaves are coming off?
I suppose it could be a shock, certainly. Okay. Normally the ones are auspicious. Yes.
It could be silly, but it might go somewhere. It looks like carrots that I forget at the bottom of my fridge. But they're starting a new life of some sort, and that's what they do. They sprout green, and they have to be thrown away. But they might be trying to be something.
Right. They're trying to be something, right? This is the carrots at the this is the carrots at the bottom of Des's fridge. Okay. So
They don't tell my secrets.
now
I
you've
said her name on
now-
there too.
We've all been on here.
Identified.
Now you've heard the Wiccan perspective. My perspective is, and based now newly on Bill's insight, which I agree to, is that okay, there's a cloud of intuition that's a dark cloud. It's trying to produce something, a lightning bolt perhaps, and out of the cloud comes a wand, which is fire because wands burn. Do you think wands are fire, or you think they're?
Yeah, I'm hearing all these mixed things, and they just don't fit in with what I know
They don't
it
fit
to
with
be.
what you're
Yeah,
saying.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't see a storm.
all right, but okay, let's clarify then.
Pull another card out. Clarify.
Well, we will do, but are you saying that swords are air or fire?
Swords are air.
Swords are air.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I agree that swords are air.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm saying is this is coming out of swords. It's an intuition, but this is the beginning of thinking through the action. That's what I think that is. Okay. But it doesn't matter because we're trying to anchor into your mind ideas about what you can say, in a reading. And so whether you agree with Corinne and Bill or you agree with me, these are our ideas. You might be very confused.
I don't think anything like that.
Pardon?
Why are you lumping us in one thing?
Well, because you're both taking the Wiccan position. Okay. All right. Pardon?
I sort of was too.
Okay. Kelly was too. Okay. All right. So now, I think this becomes less important in these later cards. But let's talk about this one. This is the Two of Wands. And, okay, Des.
You want me to see what I could? Oh.
Yeah, you can see something out of it.
Are those stats?
Wands, rods, staffs. They call them different
But the
things.
leaves are stuck on it, not falling off.
They're not falling off. We've got the world.
So what does that card to you?
I mean, it's something like knowledge seeking, it looks like, just because the world, and he's holding it, so he's got some kind of power, possession. I don't know. That's all I got.
Okay. Anything else?
Just want to get used to this deck.
It's the same thing.
The world is, I feel like that's sort of the
Mhm.
wand is
Oh, maybe I
supporting,
haven't drawn.
Pardon?
like supporting and
Yeah, it's supporting him. Yeah,
firm.
right.
It's got a spare.
It's like Sir Thomas More from Renaissance.
St. Thomas More?
Yeah, in the hat and everything.
Yeah. He's got his head still up in this picture. If it's St. Thomas More.
He's holding it in his
It's important.
Okay, well, this is one of the ones that I have an important anchor to, which is this guy is holding a globe, and somewhere I remember, because it's anchored in me from 20 years ago when I was looking at Tarot, that this is Columbus looking out at the New World, and twos represent partnership of some sort. Okay, normally, some sort of partnership. And so this is Columbus. He's established his partnership with Queen Isabella to pay for his trips to the New World. And so he's looking at his globe and looking out over the horizon, imagining his future. And so he's holding on to one stave, and of course, Queen Isabella is only there symbolically with the other stave. But anyway, that's what I got out of that.
Corinna's.
Corinna, how do you?
That's like, that comes out of, it's a continuation of that last one, and it's before it gets to the three. It's still, he's looking and waiting for something to come.
He's waiting for something to
Yeah.
come.
So
Okay.
there's stuff out there, he's looking at all the possibilities, and he's got all these intuitive things around him, and he's in contemplation.
She's almost right.
Pardon?
She's almost
On
right.
its way.
She's almost right. Bill, you have further comment?
No, I don't know the whole deck. My way of looking at it would be looking at it in terms of duality, and he's beginning to understand the physical, the earth.
Right. So, Corinna, do you read twos as something having to do with a partnership?
Yeah,
You do. Okay. So, twos typically represent something having to do with a
yeah,
partnership.
it's
in any
a
case.
partnership within yourself or a partnership with somebody else.
Okay. Partnership within yourself or a
The
partnership
tens,
with someone
like the
else.
Pentacles,
Okay.
when you're